Welcome to the Halloween version of Native Honor Hours. You got two grandma spooks and a little spook here with you today. We're sorry, Ed's in jail again.
Yep.
So the girls came in to take over for him. And we have you are our little Ed.
I am little Ed.
Yes. Yes. He leaves town and you become little Ed.
So the show is basically all about me today.
She has a lot of stories to tell about herself. You have to interrupt me every time I start talking.
Yeah, right. Yeah, don't bogart the
I know,
mic
don't
over there.
bogart the mic. No, Ed is at the NCAI conference trying to be a big dog.
Yeah.
We all know he's probably embarrassing himself and us
Right.
as we speak. But last I heard, he had been involved in a little video to free Leonard, because you know that's Ed's cause, free Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to get him a t-shirt. Maybe he's going to be his legal representation now.
Oh.
We all know what he's doing is following poor Kit around like a little party.
Yeah, carrying his suitcase for him. He said he was going to end up doing
His
that someday.
briefcase.
Yeah, his briefcase.
So we hope people are actually listening, because now, today, we're having Girl Show. Yay!
Sure, Ed's listening, so hi Ed and Monica.
Hi, Ed. Hi, Monica.
Oh, Ed told us 7 times after the last All Girls Show how it just wasn't as good with him not on it.
Right.
I know. I had to laugh. Film Festival.
Yeah.
A little bit over a week from tomorrow, the film festival starts. And for any of you that have little kids, please bring them down for the Saturday morning kids movies. They are amazing
Yeah,
this year.
they're
We
Amazing
previewed
this
them
year.
earlier today.
They are
Yeah,
so good.
They are really cute.
Just cute. Good stories.
Mm-hmm. 2 Oneida stories.
Yes, yes. One of them supposedly that Joseph Bruchac
Yes,
told while he
yes.
was
Very
here.
similar to the one that Joseph Bruchac
Well,
told.
what is he? Onondaga? No.
No, he,
Um,
what did he?
Uh-oh. Senile and seniler
I
are
tried.
trying to figure out what he is. It starts with an A, because I remember having a hard time saying it.
Yes.
For one of the eastern up there in the woodlands, eastern woodlands.
Oh, well, anyway, when he was here, he told that
I'll
story.
think about that.
Saturday morning, we are going to be showing two really good kids movies, and then Ingenuity. And you know, I'm not sure Ingenuity is that the little ones will really understand it from what I've heard, but it's cartoons, so they'll
Right.
enjoy
Yeah,
it
they'll
anyway.
So
like it. I
Ingenuity
think they'll
is
like
for
it.
all ages, but I think the little ones would enjoy it because it is like watching cartoons. But it's for all ages, not just little children.
Right.
The film festival is going to be amazing. The reservations are made. The room's ready to go. We just need a little technological training. As long as all the talent shows up, we're good.
Right.
I'm always a little afraid about Brother Gary getting on the plane.
Been
but Ed
spreading the
seems to think it's
word.
gonna-
Yeah. Been
Yes,
spreading the
and
word.
please, we will, all this week and next week, we will every day be putting that poster out. So
Oh,
when you
and we're
see-
going to be in the Omaha World Herald.
Oh, that's right. Today, Eric Sherman, Gretchen Carroll, and Frankie Hanna will be having their picture taken by by a representative of the Omaha World Herald for the Thursday Go magazine.
Right, the entertainment
And
magazine.
he's going to also try and get us into Indian country today, because we have 2 budding documentarians that are going to make a documentary about the Native Film Festival.
All right.
Gretchen Carroll and our very own Kenny. So,
Yeah, he's like, yay. I got to deal with her for the.
Kenny, there could be worse things to do than following around Gretchen for a couple days. You could be following around Ed without his shoes on. I'm just saying. So, Indian Country Today will be interested in seeing our post video with the one-on-one interviews with the talent that's coming. And who's coming again? Who is that director?
Chris Iyer.
Air.
Air, only the most famous Native American director
Iris
in
Ayer.
America. We have Chris Ayer coming. We have the beautiful and talented Irene Bedard. I have a hard time thinking of what movies she wasn't in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yeah.
And then she dropped out of sight for a little bit, but she's back. Wasn't she in Winter in the Blood? Or no, that was
No,
Tattoo
the Tattoo Cardinal.
Yes. And, of course, the ever-popular Brother Gary Farmer will be with us, because it's a Gary Farmer Film Festival. My 2 favorite Native movies are gonna be in the film festival. And you know what really surprises me? I'm out in the community spreading it, and I'm at the schools talking to the kids, and they're all like, I've never seen smoke signals. Never seen smoke signals. We have a generation that didn't
Right.
ever see the first Native American produced, directed, and starring Native Americans. It was the first movie ever, and it was played in the actual theaters.
Yes.
It's the only one that I can think of that has been.
Yeah, I've never seen it in the theater.
And Powwow Highway is gonna be played, it is a quintessential res movie, Powwow
Yes.
Highway. The only thing I wish is that the head actor wouldn't have been A. Martinez. It might have been nice had we actually used a native for that one, but at least we went with Mexican, so it wasn't
Right.
too far off.
Right.
We didn't have the John Dunbar syndrome.
Right, and he's indigenous to his country,
Yes,
right?
but those are two of my favorite movies. They're also going to be showing, for any of you Johnny Depp fans, they're going to be showing the film that Gary Farmer and Johnny Depp made that was directed by John Jarmusch. So that's going to be a really big draw too.
Okay, what was the
Yeah,
name
I
of
never
that
saw
film?
That
Dead
one
Man?
is,
One Dead Indian or
No,
Dead Man?
Dead Man.
Dead Man.
Oh,
Dead Man.
okay.
and the weird thing about that movie is it's really just only Johnny Depp and Gary Farmer for most of the movie.
Wow.
Yes, it's dark.
Okay.
It's dark.
Dark.
But so's Brother Gary. Unless you're listening, then you're hot. I'm excited. I'm
too.
at that point now where I just want it to come.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I printed out the evaluations. Let's get this film.
And I'm
festival
excited
rolling.
because Gretchen and I get to go to the airport and pick up Chris.
Yep, so we gotta make our
Yes.
sign.
Yeah.
Chris Air.
Chris Air, here we are.
Although since you two probably the only two Indians standing there,
Here we
with
are,
somehow
fine ladies
sensing
over
that we
here.
already got
Yeah.
out.
Oh, there they are.
Yeah,
You
and
know
the
what's gonna
reason they
happen, they're
picked
gonna
us
get
to
near
pick
the-
him up is because he's enrolled with the same tribe as we are, the Cheyenne Arapaho of Oklahoma, so.
Yep.
That's-
So
That's
we're
like when
sending
the-
his own people for him.
Yes.
That's like when the Sasquatch guys were sitting out front. They saw us, we saw them.
We were like Indians.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well,
And you know
you just
what?
know
I
'em
didn't
when you
know-
see one.
Did anyone know that the Sasquatch guys were going to be
No.
here?
Yeah, Ed told me.
I didn't know
I
that,
had no
but
idea.
I think he told me that morning.
I spotted up the hill and I know, up, there's some
And
Indians
I-
up there.
You know, any place I've ever gone with Cassie, she sees an Indian, she's shaking hands and introducing herself. Meanwhile, I stand there and look like an idiot.
Well, there aren't that many of us around, so I want to make contact.
I have noticed most of them are men over 60.
She's making contact.
No, I
But I'm
think,
really excited. We're going to have some fabulous films. We're going to have
Mm-hmm.
concessions. So bring your dollar bills because we're going to have popcorn, candy. This year we're going heavier on the waters. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be an all-day
well, it's
event.
healthier than pop anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's going to be an all-day event, Saturday and
candy.
Sunday.
Lots of candy.
And lots of candy though, okay.
And of course, as usual, as everything else at UNO, it's going to be free
Free.
and open to the public. I've had 2 calls. They're bringing down a bus from Little Priest and a bus of kids from Winnebago.
Yay.
So I think it's going to be a good turnout after all the work we do. This is even harder to plan than Powwow, to be honest with you. It really is.
little bit.
Thank God we have vision. I think it's because we're good at Powwow. This is my 4th Powwow. You know, we're getting good at Powwow, and maybe after 4 film festivals, we'll be there too. It's just that it's just so nerve-wracking at the very last minute. And at Powwow, we don't have to deal with big talent. You know, we don't
Right.
have to worry if Gary Farmer's going to be happy with his room or if Chris
Right.
Ayers is going to get picked up at the airport.
Sure, yes.
I just hope they all show up this year. Last year we were having a film by it was a horse film, a racing film, with Mr. Ivan Rock in it. Ivan Rock, was that his name?
I don't
I don't remember.
I believe it was Ivan Rock. We set our most responsible member, Eric Sherman, out to the airport to pick him up, and he didn't come back, and I thought, oh dear God, what was I thinking? I said, Sherman, what was I thinking? And pretty soon here comes Sherman, and I said, where's Ivan Rock? He says, never got on the plane at the other end. So this year, if all of our talent actually gets on a plane, we're going to be
We'll be
ahead.
good, yeah.
And there's going to be plenty of time after the films for pictures, for autographs.
Questions,
So,
yeah.
Questions, yep, there's going to be a question answer after every film. We're also bringing in Alicia Yellow Thunder, a girl who used to go here at UNO, and she's been doing a lot of work with the uranium in the water.
Wow,
Back
okay.
up home in South Dakota.
Great.
So she's gonna be here.
Okay.
And our first night, I wish I could say that guy's name. Do any of you have any idea?
Johnny
Cornier?
Cornier, I think.
I don't know, and he's Sichangu. You'd think I would know it, since he's my tribal member.
Right.
But he's coming in, and honestly, I don't know much about his film.
No, I don't either.
But I sense it'll be really good, but the Friday night showings will be at Kaneko.
So make sure you reserve your spot, 'cause, they have limited seating there, so you can go onto their website.
And print off
And
tickets.
print off tickets. I know, I think,
Well, actually,
think-
it's not that. It's more for them to keep a
Oh, we're
record.
so they
Sorry,
know,
Ed.
So
right.
if you don't get a chance to print one out, you still can go. They'll
We're
still
sorry,
be
Ed.
they'll
Little
still be
Ed.
available
We didn't know the
seatings.
right way.
Usually
I
we
think-
have that information.
Well, the part of the reason I think they do it is so that they know how many chairs to put up.
Yeah.
Sure.
I've never been to Kaneko.
And how many
It's
people?
nice.
Which is embarrassing
It's a
to
ni-
admit,
It's
but
a
I've
nice
never
little
been to
venue,
Kaneko.
right.
That's a nice
It's
place.
not really a theater type. It's a large room, and they set up chairs there.
Do you know what I'm noticing? That nowhere on our Native Honors Radio Show website is the film festival poster.
Right.
So we'll get on getting a poster put up there.
Ed.
And if you have any questions, please feel free to call my office, 554-2248, and ask questions. Everybody's welcome. We had such a great time last year. I just hope we keep it moving, because every year, I think, well, we can't do any better than that.
And we'll have a
then
couple
we do.
acting
Yeah.
workshops too,
Yes, we
right?
have a directing workshop.
Right.
Maybe you and Kenny need to go to the
Definitely.
directing workshop. Get some film on that, I'm just
Kenny.
saying.
We got it all done.
we got all we got. One signal for everything, and he knows what I'm talking about. He knows me.
So he's going to be doing a directing workshop, and Gary Farmer will be doing the acting workshop.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll need a few handlers there, because the last time Brother Gary did an acting workshop at UNO, it was with the South High students, and they were being teenagers, and we all know how teenagers will be. Suddenly Gary started yelling at the children. Me and the counselor looked at each other and went, "Oh my God." We had no idea what to do. We all just stood there and watched him for a little bit, and the kids did get quiet real quick and fall in line, but we kind of had to pass on that, no, we don't yell at children that are not our own. EZ said, oh, okay.
Ed chiming in now.
No, he was telling me how many kids, he's trying, he's acting, now he is.
Now he is.
No, he's answering. Should I tell him, don't bother us, we're on the radio show? What is he doing? He's still trying to get involved and bother us.
Ed, this is our show today. Just listen. But we're welcome comments though.
Stop taking off then.
Yeah.
You know, you should be here.
You know what? Next week he'll be all ready to do the show, and we'll be like, we had a vote.
Right. It's canceled.
You can sit in the audience,
Yeah.
but you are no longer allowed to speak.
The women have taken over.
And then after the film festival, I'm ready for a little break. A little break until Christmas. It's time for finals.
Yeah.
That's a pretty intense time around UNO. Finals.
Yeah. Well, and at least we'll be able to go see other things going on
Yes,
for
yes.
November. So.
Yes, and Cassie, during Cassie's Corner, will be sharing those fabulous
I'll share
events
some
that
of
will be
those
going
events.
on.
Lots of
Yes.
events.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's my birthday month, so just FYI.
In case anybody wants to
Yeah,
get presents.
FYI, the
FYI, it
19th,
starts from the
the
1st
November
and it
19th.
goes to the 30th, I think.
We'll be accepting presents in the Office of Multicultural Affairs.
direct
And
and
you will
Fort
be-
Gretchen.
You will be judged by what you give. We're just saying, how old are you going to be?
45.
You look, you can say that happily
I
because you look
can
like
say
you're about
that.
35.
Because I get from.
Yes, you two definitely age well. You just definitely age well.
Somebody just recently just said, you two, what did he say to us? Are you related? Was over there at the building? Remember when we were walking out, that guy said, are you related?
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yes, we're related.
Yes.
Gretchen usually doesn't admit
Mother
that
and
unless
daughter.
you're.
Yeah.
Mother and daughter.
We have
I don't know her.
we have three generations of Carols on campus, and they don't claim each other. But that's okay.
Yes.
especially the younger one.
Right.
Yes. All righty. So what else is going on?
I think that's
All
it.
I've been doing is film festival, literally talking to kids in film festival, keeping students in school. But it's time for what else is going on? What else is going on at the other schools? I haven't even seen or heard anything. I haven't even really talked to anybody since the last powwow. Grandmother's Circle met. We had a really good time. We always have a good time. For any of you grandmothers listening, we will not be meeting this Saturday due to the fact that I forgot to get poster and advertising out. And also, it's Hoops for Life.
And she's
Oh, yeah,
taking
Hoops
over
for
my
Life.
information here, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Hoops for Life, yeah.
Hoops
Yes,
for
Hoops
Life,
for
yes.
Life is
Yes.
happening on Saturday.
Yeah, talk a little bit
Yes.
about that.
Well, I don't have my flyer with me, shoot, but it's on Saturday. It's being sponsored by
Soames.
the
Soames.
Soames, Soaring Over Meth and
Suicide.
Suicide. And if you need any more information, you can contact Liz Lovejoy, or who else is?
Pastor Bollinger. This is
Pastor
really Pastor
Bollinger.
Bollinger's baby.
Okay. And I don't have the flyer in front of me. Sorry, Liz.
I can look that.
I tried to look it up. I don't know how.
I believe it's over at that, where they had a powwow last year over at the school in North Omaha. What's that?
Omaha North?
No, off of around
Oh, wait a
42nd.
minute. I have it as an event.
Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun.
so you can update us.
Uh-oh.
You don't have it.
They did make
It's
it
on
an event.
Intertribals, it's on their page, on Soames' page.
Okay, hold on a minute. The crack researcher's a little slower than the usual cracks researcher.
Right, Monica.
So-
We
Yeah,
miss you.
Monica,
We
stop
miss you,
leaving.
Monica.
I know, we don't care about Ed, but please, nope, that's the powwow. Okay,
Did you find it?
no, I'm passing over the iPad to Gretchen though, to let her go ahead and do it.
Okay, you guys keep talking.
We will
more.
keep talking. I have a couple things I'd like to talk about. Matthew McConaughey got put in his place, and it brings up a larger question to me, I guess. Who has the right to speak for other people? If someone said to me, Cindy, how do you feel about what's happening to the Chinese in China regarding some form of stereotypical issue? I would say, I feel for them, but I am not Chinese. It's not my
Not
place
qualified
to
to
speak
comment.
for them.
No.
What I want to know is why people like Matthew McConaughey and others feel like it's okay to speak for an entire race of people that they know nothing
And you saw the
about.
response that somebody
Yes.
sent him
Yes.
on Indian country. That was.
But you know what? Do you think he bothered to even
I hope
read it?
so. I hope so.
And how many of the other people do you think that read that think, well, see, those dumb Indians. Oh, Chris Channel said it's at the old Nebraska School for the Deaf. Hello, Chris Channel. I'm going to brag about Chrissy for just a minute. Guess what Chris Channel's studying for? The LSTAT. He is getting ready to graduate and go to law school.
Oh,
So
yay!
we'll have a good lawyer taking care of us.
Yes.
We won't have to depend on Ed. Get through school, quick, Chris.
Hurry,
Yeah,
Chris,
I could
I
be
need
getting
some
in trouble.
legal representation.
So, does he say where that location is?
No,
Oh.
I don't even know.
Chris,
I'm
where's
still
that?
looking.
The location.
I'm trying to-
I think I know it's North Omaha, but I don't remember
Well,
the
and
address.
what's particularly sad for me with the Matthew McConaughey situation, he's married to a beautiful model from Colombia. How would he or she feel if the team was called the Boston Beaners?
Hmm.
I'm sensing somehow it wouldn't be okay then. But it's okay because it's being done to us. Which leads to the bigger question, how come it's okay to be racist against Native Americans in our own country, but it's not okay to be racist for anybody else?
Because there's not enough of our people that speak up for
It shouldn't
us.
matter.
No, it shouldn't. But
matter if there's one Native in America and the Redskin mascot is racist to that Native, that should be it. You know what hurts us is ourselves. I read what these.
But look at with the domestic violence and the football players.
Yes.
That's been brought to attention, but that was African Americans that brought that to attention.
Yes, yes.
Would it, if it had been a Native American doing that, would it have been brought to attention? I don't know.
And if it was, nobody would have cared.
Right.
And the sad thing is that it's white privilege. It's the same thing. It would be different if at any point in history Native Americans would have gotten the respect that they deserved. But at no point in history have they ever gotten the respect that they deserved. And still in 2014, we're being told we don't care how you feel in your own country. I find that really hard. And I understand when Ed likes to go on his rant and use the N-word, but then we're being just as bad as the rest of them in my mind, but there's no other way to get the point across. You call a little Indian kid a redskin, you might as well call him the N-word, because that's what it is to us.
Okay, we
But
finally
nobody
found the
cares.
information on Hoops for Life.
Thanks, Chris.
Yes.
Chris,
That's what it's called,
Chris-
Hoops
Thank
for
you,
Life.
Chrissy. Hoops for Life is November 1st from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Turning Point campus, 3223 North 45th.
Right.
It's always a great day. It's a lot of fun. People really, really enjoy themselves, and Indians love their basketball.
Basketball.
been.
I
I'm
love
excited to go.
basketball. I
Indians love their
basketball.
basketball. My first husband was a basketball player at UNO. Yep, yep.
And your second one?
Businessman. Third one.
Third one.
Rich ranch owner.
Fourth one.
No, we're
Stopped at 3?
third one, rich ranch owner. I haven't met him yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just putting it out there. He doesn't, no, we'll just stick with Rich and have his own teeth. That's really all I care about.
Right.
Maybe a little hair.
Get the
would be
word
nice.
out, you guys.
Word out.
Rich and teeth.
Rich and teeth, a job. Please don't make me have to support you.
I think she would like some hair on the head, but if he's bald,
Yeah.
that's okay too.
If he's got the ponytail with the 7 little hairs, I'm okay. I'm good with that. My question is, why do you think that back to Matthew McConaughey, why do you think they asked him about it? Why do you think the interview asked him about it? Doesn't that seem
who
weird?
asked him? Who interviewed him?
It was for a magazine article,
Oh.
and they asked him about it, and he said something about, well, that's okay because hamburgers and something else are too. I'm thinking, hamburger?
Yeah, I know.
What is that all about?
Yeah.
But he's not the only one. And what's really even worse than the Matthew McConaughey's of the world are the Navajo high schools who are saying, we support the Redskin mascot. We're our own worst enemy once again.
Yeah.
Well, we still have to do that book drive for Ed buying his book and shipping it down to them.
Yes.
Oh,
We'll have to
that's
make a flyer for
right.
that to
yeah,
You know what?
That's
You know
right.
what I would like to know, and
Can
I
you
know.
talk about that a little bit, Cindy?
Well, what I would like to know, first of all, is how much money Dan Schneider's foundation gave that school. That's what I'd like to
Yeah.
know. Did they sell out? Is that
That's
what we did?
right. We were
And
gonna-
so how about for the rest of us, I'm Lakota. We could sell those black pills and each and every one of us would be rich. Every year we vote no to selling the black hills. We don't sell our soul. How much does it cost to sell your soul? 40 pieces of gold? You know? It breaks my heart because they did more damage than Matthew McConaughey and idiots like him could ever do because we're doing it to ourselves. Where are their elders saying,
Right.
this is not how we raised you. This is not the pride we attempted to instill in you.
Their elders were sitting at the game
Yeah.
with Dan Schneider.
Sad
Yeah,
but
with
true.
free tickets.
Sad but true.
Yes.
It's sad but
Yes.
true. And you know, where's it gonna end? Because Dan Schneider is gonna fight this until the day he dies. Are we gonna keep fighting it, or are we gonna give up? I hope to God we keep fighting.
Yeah, let's keep fighting.
But how, it's hard to fight when people are saying, well, we're Indians and we think it's perfectly fine.
know.
How do we fight
Right.
ourselves?
Yeah.
That's part of our problem and has been since conquest. We don't come together, and we tried to in the 70s. We tried to with AIM. We tried to all come together, but we sold out. You know,
Right.
we sold out for
Right.
fame
Right.
and,
The philosophy behind AIM was right,
Yes,
but then
yes.
it
but then
led
we,
to.
but our leaders sold
Right,
sold
sold
out
out.
at some point.
Mhm.
But you know, as a grandmother, I'm looking at the future generations and how are we supposed to teach our children to be proud to be Indians, where everywhere they look, there's a caricature of an Indian, or everywhere they look, there's someone saying racial slurs about Indians, or everywhere they look, they're saying, well, you didn't come from America, so it wasn't really yours. You came from Africa or China or some place else in this world, because they just don't want to admit that
Well, we
this
just
was
we need
ours.
more positive programs like this basketball tournament coming up, like our Native Pride Time reading for our children,
Yep.
like our Native Book Club, like our
Native
Circle of
Film
Grandmothers, our
Festival.
Native Film
Yep.
Festival. We
Intertribal
just need to
Student
keep
Council.
working at positive things
And
like
you know,
that.
we do. In my job, I work with these kids, and every day I am uplifted by them.
Mm-hmm.
Every day I'm uplifted by the spirit that they share. Our Intertribal Student Council sits down at the table, and they can make great things happen. No one says, what tribe are you?
Right.
No one says my tribe doesn't get along
That's
with your
right.
tribe. Here on this campus, we're all Indians,
Mhm.
and that is more important than anything else, because we hold each other up. If someone's going after the Cheyenne, I'm gonna be right there with you two.
Who's
If
going
they're-
after the
Yeah.
Cheyenne? Who out there's going after us,
I
huh?
got the Cheyennes worked up. Evacuate the building. But I
Let's go
know,
get 'em, Gretchen.
and the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah,
is,
only might be two of us, but we're gonna
We're
take care
gonna
of
go get 'em.
business.
I'll be right there behind you. Hitting like
No,
that
but
over your shoulder.
I understand. I understand what you're saying, Cindy. I understand.
It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that A, we're our own worst enemy, and B, we get no respect in our own country. I was visiting with Mr. Freeman, my boss in Multicultural Affairs,
Mhm.
and he said something that I thought was so profound. He said, you know, you are a minority within minorities.
Yes.
How hard is that to be? A
Yes,
minority
we are.
within minorities,
Yes, we are.
wearing our costumes,
Mm-hmm.
out there doing that. It's that time of year again. What the Sam heck?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And you know, we'll be talking more about that in our
Yes,
Knuckleheads of the
yes.
Week, but
Right.
fall is not a good time to be native. You start out with Columbus Day, then you go into Halloween,
Halloween,
and then you go right to Thanksgiving.
Right.
So, you know, for Native Americans, I'm kind of thinking fall is a little genocide.
Well,
city.
we do have some things going on in the community during the Native American Heritage Month, so I'll talk a little bit about that.
If we let you. We haven't decided yet if we're gonna, you might have to just sit there.
Let's
and
not
be
get a
pretty-
war
Hey,
started
wait a
going
minute.
here, okay?
It's up to little Ed to decide who speaks and who doesn't speak in this. Poor Gretchen, Ed leaves town and he sends a text. Will someone pick this movie up and teach this class? I'm like, well, I already have a luncheon date, so clearly I can't go because I love you, but I am not giving up fruit. I looked at poor Gretchen, she looked at me and she was like, okay.
Skipped my
what's-
class for
Skipped
you,
her class, Ed.
to take care of
That's
your
okay.
class.
Because of the work you did, Ed's taken us all
Yeah.
out for
Yeah,
Chinese.
Chinese.
And thank you, Ed, for showing, that you believe in Gretchen's abilities, because that says a lot. It does.
It does.
Yeah.
You know, you've never let me down yet, but by God, when you do, I'll let you know about it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Okay, so should we let her do Cassie's corner?
Yes, Cassie's Corner.
Okay.
We would like to introduce our very own Moccasin Grapevine leader, Cassie's Corner.
Hi. Okay. Okay, like I said, Native American Heritage Month is coming up, but I just wanted to cover a couple of other things. Our last primetime family reading program is on Tuesday. We had a wonderful turnout this last Tuesday. We had one of the professors from UNO come, and she did a poem with the kids, and then she showed them how to create their own poem. I wish we should have brought that up so we could have
I can pull
shown
it up,
it.
you can read it to me.
But oh my gosh, it was amazing. She showed the children a picture, and then off that picture, they created a poem, and it was amazing. I was amazed because I don't know how to do poetry, and now now I'm going to try it on my own. But it was an amazing night. And then the little ones made cookie spiders. They were really cute. They were made out of Oreo cookies, pretzels for the legs, and M&Ms for the eyes. I'll read you the poem that the kids wrote with the help of Professor de Moraes. The name of the poem was called Ancestors. And what she showed them a picture of some native art from where she's from in Canada. And she asked them, well, what do you see in this picture? What do you see? What colors do you see? What do you see? What does this represent? So it was called Ancestors, and this is what the children wrote. Great-great-grandparents. Sometimes we feel sad, glad, mad. Ancestors, in your red, black canoe. Some of us are Oglala Sioux. How about you? And that was the poem that they created, and it was just so cute. So, like I said, Tuesday will be our last Primetime Family Reading, and we're going to be talking about the jingle dance dress. So we encourage any of the children who jingle dance to wear your regalia and come to our primetime meeting, and it's going to be a wonderful last night for our primetime for this particular session. So that's next Tuesday, 6 to 7:30. We feed at 6 o'clock. It's at the Willa Cather Library on 42nd and Center. The library is also having a Native American Heritage Month, and different programs are listed for November the 7th, November the 8th, another one on November 8th, and another session on November 15th. And it will be different. Kenny, can you show that up there? There will be different stories. One's about medicine and plants. There's some really interesting presentations that are going to be shown at some of the different libraries in Omaha. Can they see that okay? All right. So if you can Google the public library, and this flyer will come up and you can get more information on that. And then I have a poster from Metropolitan Community College for their Native American Heritage Month, and there's a performance by a group called the Mixed Blood Theater from Minneapolis, and they're doing a collection of legends, and it's called According to Coyote. So they're going to be doing that on the Fort Omaha campus on Wednesday, November 5th at the Swanson Conference Center. They will also be performing that same collection of legends. They will be performing that also at Creighton University at the Lead Center on November 3rd from 7 to 8, and it's free. So if you get a chance to attend one of those performances, one is on November the 3rd from 7 to 8 at the Lead Center at Creighton. And then the next one is at for the Fort Omaha campus from 10:30 to 11:30. So that's a couple of Native American things coming up in November. Let's see. And then the Film Fest is that following weekend. And I think that's it for now. So next week I'll probably have some more things to talk about. But there's a lot going on in the Native community. So try to make some of those performances by the Mixed Blood Theater in Minneapolis. So, okay, guys.
You know, speaking of library, I got the most exciting opportunity to get today. Sometime this spring, the library contacted us. They would like to do a book fair, only instead of books, it will be people. So if you wanted to find out about Cheyenne Arapaho history, they could check you out for 30 minutes. You would sit down with them and have a conversation. If they wanted to learn about life in the 60s, they could check Mr. Freeman out. Instead of books, you'd be checking out people who would sit down and have a discussion with you about the issue instead of reading it in a book. So Mr. Freeman marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. If you are interested in that time, you could
Yes,
check out Mr.
yes.
Freeman and hear firsthand how it was. Doesn't that sound cool? It's a living book. After I read that article, I thought, we're all living books.
Right.
It's never
we
really
all
occurred
have,
to me
right,
that
we
way.
all have stories.
Yeah.
And
Every
you know,
one of us.
of course I would be the perfect person to work on it because it's oral history,
Right.
which is what we're all about.
Right.
So I'm hoping to have some of the grandmothers be involved in it and be checked out to hear their story, which
It sounds
checked
just
out
funny.
sounds odd.
Checked
Yeah.
out for 30
Yeah.
minutes.
Grandmothers, do you want to be checked
Been
out?
there, done that.
They're gonna check you out.
Gretchen's still trying.
Yeah.
Oh, at my age, you
Oh,
can check me out
okay,
for
that
10 minutes.
sounds, that sounds interesting.
Doesn't that sound
Yeah.
interesting?
And when do they want to do that, in the spring?
Sometime this spring. I said, as long as it's not
Okay.
near powwow, we are good to go. I think that sounds they do it in Europe.
Oh,
I never
okay.
have heard of any such thing. But from now
I
on,
can-
instead
I
of
can
calling
underst- I
myself
can
an
get
old
it.
lady,
I
I'm
can
going
get
to
it.
call myself a well-worn book, a well-read book.
Well, that
A much
doesn't sound
handled
too
book.
good either.
I've been checked out
Oh,
quite a
I
few
did,
times.
I did forget to mention about our native book club. There are two meetings that are
talks about right now.
scheduled, two meetings scheduled for our native book club. And one of them is with Professor Robbins at her class. And that's on the 11th. No, I'm sorry. That's on the 12th at her class.
Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
believe her class starts at 5:30. And they will be discussing Susan Powers' Sacred Wilderness. And then the following Wednesday, the regular meeting of the Native Book Club will meet at Village Inn on 78th and Dodge. And I think they suggested people talk about a favorite book at that particular meeting. So that's
I've
what's
never
happening.
been to your meeting, so this is just a question.
And free pie
Do they
there.
actually talk about the book, or do they just sit around and visit?
Well,
'Cause
they're
I've been to
supposed to
meetings at
be
Village Inn, I'm
talking
saying.
about the book. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to go to the Village Inn one, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening with the Native Book Club this month, or for November.
I've been reading some really good books. Next semester, I'm getting my class ready to teach next semester. I'm teaching online. I'm going to have the students reading The Lone Ranger and Tonto Fist Fight in
Yeah,
Heaven.
that'll be interesting.
I know.
Yes.
He is such a
Yes.
good author. I can't believe it.
Sherman Alexie.
I would love to bring him
Fantastic.
sometime.
Yeah, he
the
was good
problem
when
is
we went.
just can't afford him.
Fantastic, yes.
Carmen
yes.
Lincoln.
Chris,
Last year.
Chris Chattel is my favorite person in the whole world. He heard I have bookworms. Wait a minute. You meant for Cassie or Gretchen, right? Not your beloved
Well, there is
Auntie
a bookstore
Cindy.
called
Not the
Bookworm.
grandmother of your beautiful grandchild. You
Right.
don't mean bookworms. My pages are new. Ed would have passed out by now. Thank God he's not here. Let's change the subject. Let's change the
This
subject.
is a children's
Oh, yeah, the
family
grandkids are
program.
watching.
This is
The
a family
grandkids.
program.
His grandkids aren't watching. Feel free to cuss, people.
All right.
Oh, they're not
F-bombs.
watching.
Oh. So, what else is new?
Let's see what else is going on.
Is it time to get into our Indian of the Week and our
Knucklehead.
Knucklehead of the Week?
Sure.
We'll start with our Indian of the Week. We only have one nominee this week, and she kind of nominated herself. Our Indian
would
of
that
the
be?
Week is ta-da!
Thank you, thank you.
She's the Indian of the Week because the poor girl was Ed for a week and survived.
Yes.
She is a budding documentarian. She is Intertribal Student Council
President.
What else? You were telling them all, girl. You know who you are. Tell us why you deserve to be Indian of the Week.
Oh, you just said it all.
Oh, okay. Okay. So as long as there is no one to vote
And I
no
could,
on
yeah,
that-
we couldn't let my brother be it, so I had to be it.
Oh my God, Ed wants your brother to be it
So
because
I nominated myself.
Ed wanted us to nominate Kit Key because
Yeah.
Kit Key's letting Ed follow him.
Right.
Kit Key's letting
Let
Ed
Ed
follow
follow
him
him.
around. He's probably carrying, Kit's probably trying to hide. Go into the bathroom, Ed. I'll be right outside the door.
Yeah, Ed forgets all about me when he's around
Right.
kids.
I know, clearly. And you know, Kit is getting him into the AIM activism movement. So I think we could do that. But this week, you are Indian of the Week. We should take your picture and put it up somewhere.
Oh, and then what's coming up as far as that publicity thing that you're doing too?
Oh yeah, getting our picture taken
Yes.
for the Omaha World Herald.
Today.
Today.
That's another reason.
And that will be in the
Go.
Go articles on
Go
Thursday.
entertainment section
Yes,
of
so,
the.
Just a little
you know,
blurb with
we'll
our
be getting-
picture.
That'll be amazing. I hope a lot of people come to this film festival. Ooh, it should be good. If not, more popcorn for me, I guess. More chocolate for Cindy. Not a bad thing. But our knucklehead of the week. 1, 2, 3.
Walmart.
Walmart. For 2 reasons. One, their category, Halloween costume time, right? They have a category called costumes for fat girls. Yes,
Or
it's
fat
true.
girl costumes.
Fat girl costumes. Fat girl costumes. What do we think about that? I'm a little chubby, I'm not gonna lie. But that is just, first of all, who thought of that? And second of all, where was the committee that discussed what was right? When we make a poster, I swear to God, 300 people have to okay it. What happened at Walmart?
Well,
think
I've
someone
seen
that
a
fat
lot.
girl should get-
There's a
should get
trend out there where they're trying to show that fat girls are proud of who they are. You know,
That's such an ugly
to
word.
be
though.
proud. I know, but they're
I
proud. They're trying to make them feel proud of who they are, regardless of how big they are.
In our day, remember, it was big boned. She's
Yes.
a big boned
She's a
girl.
big boned girl.
She's a big boned girl.
Yeah.
And we're Indians, so we know about that big boned girl, only we have the butts in front instead of in back. So
And
also,
what- and
But anyways,
what
they
was the other-
pulled that
They
one.
pulled that one.
but
Left.
left Polka
Hottie. Polka Hottie.
Polka Hottie. I went to Walmart with Eugene and Jay, 2 young freshmen,
Did you see the
2 Native
costume
American.
then?
Yes.
Oh my
Eugene
gosh.
pulled me over and he said, look at this. And I looked at it and he looked at me and he said, why?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm standing there with our future who's looking at something that is not a costume, it is regalia. When we put our regalia on, we are not becoming someone else. When you put on a costume, you are becoming someone else. When we put on regalia, we are becoming ourselves.
Right.
And to see the red feathers and the tomahawk and
And made as a sex symbol.
yes. First of all, Pocahontas was 12 years old, for
Yes.
God's sake.
Pocahontas was only
She-
12.
There is
That's
no
right.
proof her and John Smith actually
No,
ever met.
that's just-
He was
no.
45 years old. Pocahontas got on a boat, went to England,
Mm-hmm.
married a white guy, and stayed there till she died.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we looking up to Pocahontas? Remind me. In my mind, she's the first sellout. The first sellout in a long line of sellouts. But like everybody else, I took my children to see Pocahontas when it first came out.
I
And
never
when
saw
she
it.
came dancing out in
I
that.
never saw
You saw the
Pocahontas.
cartoon one. The kids were really into that one. There was a cartoon one.
Yeah, the Disney
The
one.
Disney one. Ray
Yes.
and
But I don't know if I actually ever
Do you
saw
know?
it. I know
do you
they
know
saw
who was
it.
the voice of her father,
Yes.
Powhatan?
Yes.
Brother Russell
Right,
Means.
Russell
Yes,
Means.
yes. Another example of us.
And
And
Irene
wasn't
Bedard.
Irene was
Was
voice
Pocahontas.
of Pocahontas?
Let's not ask her about that while she's
Okay.
yeah,
here.
we don't have.
Okay.
We'll keep that.
We'll keep that mum.
Should we get her a Pocahontas? Irene, we have a little costume for you to wear while you're here. And you'll notice I use the word costume. We have, you know, well, why wouldn't she say Pocahontas wouldn't have dressed like
Money.
money?
It's a money
You know what? And I really can't say anything because I waited tables, which is basically whoring out your soul for tips. So really, I can't say anything about it, and I
Family
understand.
show here.
And I and I understand people needing money, but there has to. People in Pine Ridge and Rosebud are the poorest people in the United States, and still we don't
Right.
sell the Black Hills.
Right.
You know, when do you say no? But then I'm sure their argument is, well, if we didn't do it, they'd just use white people.
Yes.
So where is the argument there?
Right, yeah.
I look at, we were talking yesterday, someone was talking about the movie with the blue people, what was that called?
Avatar.
Avatar. It was the first 3D movie I'd ever seen, which I enjoyed it. But halfway through, I realized I was watching Dances with
Yeah,
Wolves.
it is Dances with Wolves.
And once again, the white guy was coming in, being a blue man, only being better than all the true blue men,
Right.
and saving them.
Right.
Just like John Dunbar did.
Yeah.
Why do we perpetuate that? Why isn't there an
And
Indian
I think they're
ready to
making a
save?
sequel to that now too, aren't they?
Oh,
Isn't
they
it? Yeah,
are?
I heard. Did you hear that?
I think so.
Yeah, there's a sequel being made to that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They're gonna make a trilogy.
Trilogy.
Don't know. Maybe.
Let's ask Ed.
The,
He knows all about those.
the only trilogy I ever liked was The Hobbit. But that was more than a trilogy, wasn't it? The Hobbit?
There's
How
Well,
many
The Hobbit's
books
a
are-
new trilogy coming out. Lord of
yeah.
the Rings was the
Lord
old trilogy.
was a
How
trilogy.
many books was in Lord of the Rings?
It,
Because I read every single one of
Yeah,
them when
I
I
did
was in
too.
junior high.
Yeah, I did too. Long time ago.
Hmm.
Yeah. And now they started with The Hobbit.
yeah, The Hobbit's, different.
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins.
This is before The Lord of the Rings. This is way back.
Yeah, but that's one
Yes,
book. They're making
that
into
was
3
one book,
movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
The other one was like at least 3 books.
I've
I
been
think they
to
have
every
more.
single one of those movies with my grandsons, and you know, that's the way to make a movie. That really is, wow. It holds older people's interest, younger people's interest. He was a writer. Tolkien was a writer.
Yes.
And you know what? I've never really heard much about his personal life. You know, we know that we learned, for instance, that Mark Twain was really quite racist. The man who wrote The Wizard of Oz was really quite racist.
Frank Baum.
You hear about these authors. I've never heard much about Tolkien. Was he American?
No, he was English.
No, he was English. Maybe they're better to their people there. Well, tomorrow while everybody else is having fun getting ready for Halloween, I'll be opening absentee ballots for the Douglas County Election Committee.
Poor girl.
Oh, and
Better
know-
you than me,
And we
Cindy.
all know I have ants in my pants, and after about 2 hours, they're gonna be wishing they hadn't asked me to do this sort of thing. And the bad thing
Can
is
we
that-
let this lady go early?
Right.
I was telling Mr. Freeman, the really bad thing about this is I'm a political science major.
Yeah, right.
And it's
That's
all
right.
about civic duty.
Yes.
So I will be doing my civic duty tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go to
Okay.
Lincoln and trick or treat with my grandchildren.
Right.
Unless this 29-degree is a reality, then
Mm-hmm.
Grandma's gonna do a little FaceTime about 5 o'clock on Halloween. Love you, have fun. I'll be bringing candy tomorrow.
Yeah, I
And
don't
this-
know what we're doing yet with baby, something.
I don't
What
know
is she
either.
doing for Halloween?
I think a vampire.
Yeah.
again.
She went trick-or-treating dressed as a
Scared.
vampire already, so.
Yeah.
You know, I love
I
all
mean,
these
not
little things. When our kids
scary,
were
but-
growing up, there was one Halloween night, you went, you trick-or-treated. Now there's little tricky-treaty fun things
I know, we went to the mall.
everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You went to the mall?
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then
I
took
didn't even
you-
bring my own kids to the mall, and I went with her.
And then I
It's
took her out
ridiculous.
to, they lit up
Crazy.
the pumpkin tree in front of
Village Inn.
Shields at Village Inn, and that was,
At
all the
Village
kids. Uh-huh.
Village Point.
Village Point.
Village
The
Point.
Village
Village
Point. And it was just,
I'm used to
it
your
was
mother
just
by
cute.
now.
As soon as they turned on the lights, and then a whole bunch of kids came out dressed as zombies, and they played Thriller, Michael Jackson's Thriller. And oh my gosh, now that's all Anemi wants to listen to is Thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Thriller first came out, my son that's now 35 watched the video and it scared him
Yeah.
so
Oh, we
it
bad.
all
did.
watched that as a
Yeah,
family. It was
right.
the
It was-
best
Slept
video.
with me.
Yeah.
I remember that was the best
And
video.
she loves it, and she just does her little moves, shakes to it. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just cute.
I know.
And then the next night, I took her to Violin Sprouts, and she was up there and played her little violin.
That was the cutest thing. I saw it on
Yeah.
Facebook with her tiny little violin. That is the cute.
Yeah.
We didn't have programs. My
No.
kids played the recorder. Do you remember the most obnoxious instrument ever made was that recorder?
The recorder.
Oh, and they'd
Yeah.
be practicing Mary Had a Little Lamb. You'd be like, I will kill you.
Yeah.
That's something you have to practice outside in the backyard. I love you, but take. And my son wanted drums. No.
Well,
I did the
I
drums.
let Gretchen
I
have
had
drums.
Violin for 4 years, and then I went to drums.
Yeah.
I was guitar.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah, I played guitar.
I think learning any kind of instrument and you learn to appreciate music, all
Well,
kinds of music.
And Indian people have that rhythm going. They really, well, except for Michael leading horse. But most Indian people have that
Michael
rhythm
listening?
going.
Sorry,
Poor
Michael.
We would send him out to dance, in the grand entry. I'd say, girls, surround Michael. Because God bless him, he tried. He even took the staff out by himself. Oh, part of me died as I watched him. The only Indian with white boy rhythm I've ever seen. Next year, I think we had Juan.
Well,
Well, ladies, this was fun. We have to go get ready to take our picture. What do you think about that? So be sure and check the Go magazine next Thursday, and please come to the film festival. If you have any questions about any of the movies, call me. They did put up on, I believe it was Saturday or Sunday. Which day is the R-rated ones? They put them up on the poster, I
I thought
believe.
that was Sunday for smoke signals and.
Smoke Signals is Saturday.
none of us have a
How-
I
poster in
believe
front
How
of
I
us.
know.
Highway's rated R.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
not
what
sure.
kills me? An entire generation who doesn't know John
Yeah.
Swain's teeth will be turned on by it.
And share the flyer on your Facebook.
Please
share
share
it,
the
print it
flyer.
out, hang it out.
Maybe we should get up on the stage like they do during the Rocky Horror Picture Show. When that song comes up, maybe we should all get up and sing John Wayne's Teeth. Cassie's no fun, we'll do it.
No, I won't do it.
You, me, and Kenny.
Me and Kenny will be
I don't even want to say the
videotaping.
name.
I'm gonna say.
Kenny kind of looks like Jesus when he does it, though, so you better be careful with that gesture.
And once again, anybody out there that has something that you want us to talk about, please let us know.
Or come on the show.
Or come on the
Yeah.
show and
Have
talk
guests on
about
the
it.
show.
Right.
Because now it's
Right.
ours.
Yeah.
Hope you're having fun at NCA because we are taking Kennedy.
Kennedy.
We are taking Kenny away from you bit by bit. He's becoming one of ours.
It's ours now.
Yeah,
We're
'cause
going to go Sasquatch
Gretchen and I
with
have
him, then he's
already
ours for life.
unofficially adopted him already, so.
Ooh, unofficially adopted by the Carroll girls. What are there perks to that?
And
Is
me and
someone
him are a
cooking?
team now, documentary team.
For the
We're
rest
making
of,
movies.
For the rest of you two's lives, I'm going to be looking at you going,
That'll be your.
I can't wait till we watch. Here's what I can't wait till we watch the rough cut of the documentary. Gretchen will be like,
Yeah. Don't you know what this means?
it'll all be
Got
of an
that.
Emmy. One more of an Emmy. I know. Should we stop up at Walmart and pick Brother Gary out a new outfit just for fun? He actually. This will be the first time Gary Farmer has come to Nebraska that he stayed in an actual hotel.
Where'd he stay
Poor
last
guy.
time?
He always stays with, I can't think of her name, blonde lady, her husband's native, she's part of Val's beading class, Shirley Brazel Enos.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
yeah.
him and the band used to always stay with her.
Oh, really?
And then the band disbanded.
So
And
did
then
they?
it was
Oh,
just
okay.
Dare. And so this will be the
Oh,
first time he's ever
okay.
stayed in a hotel. Hope he doesn't get spoiled because it'll never happen again. Film Festival. Well, thank you for listening. We will be back next Thursday before the Film Festival. And have a good week. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Are we out?